Hey guys, Torsar the Barbarian here with another sports talk video. Before I even get started today, I just wanted to say leave a like, leave a dislike, drop a comment, drop me a sub if you want to see more content. I really appreciate it. I hate to even have to say anything to this, but everyone knows how call to actions work. And I've been doing a bad job in just saying it at the end of my videos, which, I can't ask everyone to watch all the way to the end. That's not how this thing works. So if you've even clicked on this and are watching this right now, I just want to say thank you. I'm going to be putting out more content. Kind of fell off last week. I'm just, what can I say? I'm just a depressed Giants fan, and I think anyone who's really a football fan can understand when your team's not doing too well and it's been kind of an ongoing thing. Then, that's the way it goes in football, though, right? And today I wanted to make this video because I think someone who's going to be even getting more sick of their team than I am because he's actually playing for them is Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson was, the more this season goes on and the more you think about the previous seasons, I think the more and more he looks like what he did this offseason was actually valid, whereas Aaron Rodgers was just kind of like being a whiny sourpuss. I really don't know what he was getting on about. They've been making deep playoff runs, and he could have made plays to have them in the Super Bowl. Like, what are you complaining about? Your defense was keeping you in games. Now Russell Wilson, on the other hand, anyone who's been watching football for even since his career got going, he every year, for some reason, in the beginning and the middle of the year, he's in the MVP conversation, and he is so much more valuable to his team than I think any other person is in the league. It's actually a travesty that the guy has not won the MVP award at least one of these years. And a lot of the times he's not even one of the contenders after the middle of the season. It seems like because he's doing so well, people have no other choice but to put him in there. And then the minute the Seahawks start losing a little bit because we have such a high expectation of them from the Legion of Boom days that we kind of look at it as like, oh, well, the Seahawks lost. Now Russell Wilson isn't deserving of the MVP anymore. And it's like, if you look at the guy's numbers this year, all right, so he has the best passer rating in the whole of the NFL, a 133.6. All right. Now, the passer rating isn't everything. He's got, he only has a 55 QBR. But you could see even the league leader right now, Kirk Cousins actually is the league leader in QBR. So say that of that stat what you want. Pat Mahomes is Matthew Stafford is. Then Cousins, then Matthew Stafford. All right. So, and a 55.6, that's still not horrible. I think that has a lot to do with he's been sacked a lot, lost a lot of yards from it. That ties into a quarterback's QBR. And honestly, just like most years, the guy is just being asked to do so much. Now, the reason I say this is if you look at the team statistics, all right, let's get to the team statistics. All right, you get to the defense. Look at this. Seattle Seahawks. Their defense is god awful. Giving up the second most yards total. And the thing that's hurting them really, and that's probably hurting Russ a lot too, is they're giving up 155 rushing yards a game. They're giving up 26 points a game, one of the highest numbers in the NFL. It's like, how do you expect the guy to be the sole catalyst of the offense? All right, because they have a good running game, but it's all these guys like Chris Carson, kind of doing this journeyman's workhorse running. They don't have a star like a Derrick Henry. They don't have beast mode anymore. That was at least a good 1-2 punch. I don't know what happened in that one Super Bowl. If they really gave Russ and called that play because they didn't want like beast mode. Like beast mode was gonna be the hero no matter what. All you did was make him a martyr. You turned him from a hero to a martyr. And Russell Wilson now, he got thrown in with that unfairly, I believe. Like, he didn't call the play, and everyone knows Russell Wilson. He's just going to be the good soldier. He's going to do what he's told. That's why it was actually surprising what he did this offseason with even speaking up. But you could see he has a valid point. Their defense, this is supposed to be a defense-oriented team, and their defense is horrible. And it's not too much better. I mean, Washington was supposed to have a good defense. They're god awful. And you see obviously all these NFC East teams up in there. But this is what I don't get is how awful some of these defenses have been where they're supposed to be defensive teams. I mean, Washington, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Miami, Baltimore, the Giants. These are some of the worst defensive teams in the league right now. Now, maybe this will start evening out as we start playing more games. It's only a 3-game span. It usually takes about 6 games to see who the bad teams are and who the good teams are and even who the good units are. Like, okay, KC has a good offense, but their defense, we all know it stinks. Some things aren't as obvious as some of those teams. But Seattle, man, I mean, you can't expect this guy to keep doing this year after year after year, and then he's not even getting any recognition for it. I could see if he was at least, he had a couple regular season MVP awards to go up on his trophy mantle, but you took away a Super Bowl title from him by calling a crappy play, which pretty much if you get 2 Super Bowl titles and you've put up good stats as a QB, you're getting into the Hall of Fame. Ask Eli Manning. It's pretty much a lock cinch case for getting into the Hall of Fame. Now, Russell Wilson is still going to walk into the Hall of Fame. That's not going to be a problem for him, or at least he should. But it's just year after year after year of this. And this is me noticing this. I do not like the Seattle Seahawks. I would have every reason just to laugh this off and be like, ha ha ha. But I can't help that, my objective observancy, this like screams to me, like, what is going on? He's one of the league, look at this, 10.4 yard passing average. All right. That is a very important stat for QBs. He's best in the league right now. At least the guys who have countable stats, I mean, yeah, Justin Jefferson, a wide receiver, is the only one who has a better, because apparently he threw like one pass that went 11 yards. It's like the next guy is Matthew Stafford. All right, the guy, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I don't know how many fumbles lost he has. But, I mean, can you really blame the guy? He's not exactly like Daniel Jonesing it every time he touches the ball. They ask him to do so much. He gets so little national recognition. I don't know if it's an East Coast bias or what's going on with that. But it just seems like every year he actually is in the MVP running or his name's being thrown out there in the middle of the year. And in my opinion, there's some years where he should have such a large lead in the MVP race that at the end of the year it just doesn't totally shift just because Seattle has a couple bad games and some other team is like coming on at the end of the year. So I would expect that if this season continues like this for Seattle, they're in a really tough division. Both the West divisions this year are extremely tough. He's in a tough division, and it just doesn't seem like they held true to the promises. Whatever promises they made him this offseason, they are not holding true to it. Because I just continue to see just sheer and utter offensive brilliance from Russell Wilson without the superstars that some of these other guys have. All right. DK Metcalf is a beast. All right. But how much of him is, tied to Russell Wilson, you know? So these guys got some players, they got some offense. But I mean, is this going to be enough to keep Russell Wilson in Seattle? I don't know, man. I think you might see more of the same this offseason, and if not him just wanting to get completely out of there. You just see some of these other guys that are at the top of the list. I don't think this is gonna stay this year where it's like Derek Carr is like the MVP leader right now. Kyler Murray's up there, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Some of these guys are gonna stay up there. Some of these guys are gonna come back down to earth. I just don't see how Russell Wilson, with the fuss he put up this offseason, can just continue to stand for this. It's crazy. Something's got to change eventually. I actually feel bad for Russ. He's been a great player, and I just hope people at the end of the day will look back at his career and give him a little bit more recognition, because I think for these at least last 5 years, pretty much since the Legion of Boom fell off, the Legion of Doom fell off, Boom, Doom, whatever they call them, I think that Russell Wilson has pretty much been far and away the most valuable player in the NFL. He's the only reason this team, with how dog water their defense has even stayed relevant, never mind still being one of the contenders. Remember that time where we thought Seattle had fallen off for a little bit, and then it was like, oh no, Russ is still enough to keep them going, even though they have no offensive talent around them whatsoever. This was pre-DK and after Marshawn had left. And it was like, oh, nope, Seattle's still going to be competitive every year. They're still going to be at least 10-6 every year because of Russell Wilson. Yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't get that MVP consideration later on in the year like I think he should. I think he should have at least one MVP to his name. And you know what? The stats back it up. Just look at the stats. But anyway, that's all I have to say for now about Russell Wilson. You hate to see the NFL postseasons get hijacked by some of this QB blubbering, whether it be legitimate with Wilson or just all pretty much seemingly made up like Aaron Rodgers. But either way, let me know what you guys think. Again, drop a like, drop a dislike. Don't feel afraid to leave a comment. I love seeing the comments. Drop a sub. Not going away. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright? Bye.